Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at AQA Alevel Psychology 2025 Paper 3 Exemplar Answers for Relationships, which you need to know for AQA Alevel Psychology. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Please note that these answers have been produced with knowledge of the mark scheme but have not been approved by the mark scheme themselves. There are 3 assessment objectives, AOs, in psychology. In this video they are color-coded. AO1 Knowledge, purple. AO2 Application, blue. AO3 Evaluation, red and green. Mike and Dan are talking about their 10-year relationship. Dan says, "I'd hate to start again with someone new. It could never be the same with anyone else. We've had some great holidays and fun with our friends." Mike agrees, "Just look at the lovely home we have built together and the things we've saved up for and chosen together. Also, who would have the cats?" Question 1. Explain how Rusball's investment model of romantic relationships can be applied to the conversation between Mike and Dan, 4 marks. Rusball's investment model suggests that commitment in romantic relationships depends on 3 factors: satisfaction, alternatives, and investment. Dan's comment reflects low perceived alternatives. He says it could never be the same with anyone else, suggesting he sees no better option than staying with Mike. He also refers to their shared past experiences, like holidays and time with friends, which represent investments that have built up over time. Mike agrees and mentions their home and possessions, which are also tangible investments in the relationship. Both partners' focus on these shared experiences and resources suggests a high level of commitment, which is central to Rusball's model. Question 2. Briefly evaluate absence of gating as a factor in virtual relationships. 4 marks. A strength of the absence of gating is that it allows socially anxious individuals to form closer and more authentic relationships. McKenna and Barr, 2002, found that socially anxious individuals or those who had facial disfigurements were more comfortable disclosing online and formed closer relationships. In face-to-face interactions, their anxiety or self-consciousness may act as a barrier, but the anonymity of online environments removes the obstacle of physical and social constraints, promoting genuine self-expression and allowing people to be judged more by their personalities than by their appearances. This supports the idea that virtual relationships can provide an inclusive space for people who might otherwise struggle socially. A relationship psychologist studied what people say about themselves in descriptions on dating websites. Here is one description. "My name is Joy. I am a teacher and I have a degree in economics. I live in Essex. I cycle to work because I care about the environment. I enjoy walking and like to cook in my spare time. I am looking for a partner who enjoys good food and is good at doing repairs around the house because I'm not very practical." Question 3. Discuss the filter theory of romantic relationships. Refer to Joy in your answer. 16 marks. Kirchhoff and Davis, 1962, proposed filter theory, which explains how romantic relationships form by narrowing down potential partners from a field of availables to a field of desirables through 3 sequential filters. Social demography. This includes factors such as age, social class, religion, ethnicity, education, and location. These factors determine who we are likely to come into contact with and realistically form relationships with. This process is known as homogamy, where we tend to form relationships with people who are socially and culturally similar to ourselves. These similarities make communication easier and relationships more likely to develop. Similarity of attitudes, especially important in the early stages of a relationship, typically within the first 18 months. People are more likely to be attracted to those who share similar values, interests, and beliefs. Self-disclosure during this period helps partners assess compatibility. A lack of shared attitudes often leads to the relationship not progressing. Complementarity becomes more important in long-term relationships. refers to how well partners fulfill each other's emotional needs through having traits that the other lacks. This creates a sense of balance and completeness, e.g., one partner is nurturing, the other likes to be cared for. Complementarity strengthens the bond and leads to deeper, more fulfilling relationships. In Joy's case, several aspects of her dating profile suggest how the filter theory might apply. Firstly, her mention of being a teacher with a degree and living in Essex highlights social demographic factors, suggesting she may be looking for someone of similar educational or geographical background. Secondly, Joy states that she cycles to work because she cares about the environment and enjoys walking and cooking, which suggests she is likely to be attracted to someone who shares similar values and interests, fitting the second filter of similarity in attitudes. Finally, she says she is looking for someone good at doing repairs around the house because I'm not very practical, showing a clear example of complementarity, where she seeks a partner who can offer practical skills that she lacks. A strength of the filter theory as a factor that affects attraction in romantic relationships is that it has strong face validity. Many of the ideas within filter theory align with common-sense reasoning about romantic relationships. For example, it seems logical that people are more likely to begin relationships with others who are geographically close and who share similar values or beliefs. These assumptions are backed by evidence such as Festinger et al., 1950, who found that people living near stairways in an apartment block formed more friendships due to frequent contact, and Clark, 1952, who found that 50% of married couples lived within walking distance when they first met. This supports the idea that social demography plays a genuine role in the early stages of romantic attraction, reinforcing the theory's credibility. A strength of the filter theory as a factor that affects attraction in romantic relationships is that it is supported by research evidence. Several studies have found evidence supporting the key filters outlined in the theory. Winch, 1958, found that similarity in attitudes and values was more important in the early stages of a relationship, while complementarity became more significant in long-term relationships. This supports the theory's claim that attraction develops through a filtering process based on key variables like attitudes and needs, which change in importance as a relationship progresses. The research evidence strengthens the theory's reliability in explaining how romantic relationships develop over time. A limitation of the filter theory as a factor that affects attraction in romantic relationships is that it may confuse cause and effect. The theory assumes that similarity causes attraction, but this may not be the case. Research by Davis and Rusbolt, 2001, found that partners' attitudes tend to become more similar over time due to shared experiences, a process called attitude alignment. Similarly, Anderson, 2003, found that emotional responses converge over time in cohabiting couples. These findings suggest that similarity may be a consequence of being in a relationship rather than a filter used when choosing a partner, contradicting the assumptions of the theory. This challenges the theory's validity by highlighting that the direction of influence may be the reverse of what it proposes. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.